over here. Okay, Rex, you ready to roll?
Yep.
Okay, Pastor, you ready to roll?
I'm ready as I'm gonna be.
Okay, all right.
So our first question is, can you say and spell your name, please?
My name is Pastor Allen C. Overton Sr. ALLENCOVERTON Senior.
All right. So it's been 10 years almost since the water crisis happened. What is the most notable thing that you've seen?
The most notable thing that I've seen is that they haven't completed taking the water pipes out, the lead pipes out of the community. Neither have they completed all the restoration. So those things are noticeable to me. 10 years later, we're still trying to remove lead pipes, identify lead pipes, remove lead pipes, and fix work that's been done over the years in our community. Potholes where they dug up in the street, yards have not been repaired, that they dug up in people's yards. Those are the noticeable things to me. The second noticeable thing to me is that there's a lot of people that's vacated this community because of the water crisis.
And these people that have left, right? Is the water crisis the sole reason for it, or do you think there's another reason behind it?
Well, I haven't talked with them, so I don't want to speak for them and tell you why, but in my imagination, I would imagine a lot of folks left because of the water crisis, and then you got a lot of folks left because of the water crisis as well as employment. This used to be a community of over 100,000 people, and they were working. They had good jobs. They were good jobs in Flint. General Motors was here. They had several plants here. So those jobs are gone. So when the jobs leave, of course, people are going to leave seeking employment that their families might eat and enjoy a quality life.
So the unemployment problem is bigger in Flint.
Unemployment is huge in Flint. I mean, yeah, it's huge. We need good paying jobs. It's not job. We need good paying jobs, jobs that a person can provide health care for their family and a means for their family to have a quality life.
So because of the unemployment, there is less people in Flint and less people being affected by, let me phrase that. The water crisis and the unemployment have affected Flint greatly.
Greatly. It's devastated this community.
Tell us a little bit more about that. What things have you seen
Well,
specifically?
again, the number, just look at the residents in this community. The numbers are down. There's more people walking the streets now. You just see poverty everywhere. You see abandoned homes, abandoned buildings. The infrastructure is just not what it used to be. And because of that, the residents have moved out of Flint. Some have not left the county. They just moved out of Flint. And then there's a great deal of them that has left the county and moved to other states and other cities.
Are you feeling that in your congregation?
Yeah, my congregation is an older congregation, so my congregation is more settled in the community. My congregation, they've been here a while, they've paid for their home, they worked for General Motors when things were going well, but I don't have a huge congregation of people that get up and go to work every morning to a good paying job. They have a job, a good group of them. The jobs are not good paying jobs, not a fair wage, and they struggle with that in this community.
So you have any personal experiences with the people or with the crisis at all?
Well, yeah, I have personal experiences. I have he's 6 now, but I have a 6-year-old autistic grandson. We don't know if it's because of water. His mother had him early. We don't know if it's because of water, but his mom did reside in the city of Flint during that time, so we don't know if that had anything to do with it. But I mean, very smart kid, but he's autistic, and we don't know. But yeah, that's our thought, is that might have been a part of it. She might have got some lead water or took a shower in lead. We're not sure, but he was born during the time of that crisis, and I don't think he's 6. I shouldn't say that. He's about, I think Chancy's about 7 now, 6 or 7. So he's up in age now. I don't want to misquote his age because he'll be listening.
So when you take a town, it's been so affected by poverty, and then you hit it on top of that you hit it with a water crisis, right?
Right.
What kind of, you talked about it, it was devastating. What kind of devastation have you kind of seen through both of those things?
People lose hope when you don't have the basic necessities of life. This community has lost a great deal of hope. Now, let me just go backwards and say Flint has not always been a impoverished community. Flint was once upon a time the thriving community in this county as well as in this state. We were thriving well. The investment into this community and into Flint, the investment into Flint diminished. And when that investment diminished, poverty began to set in at a higher rate than it had been before. You've always had those under less economic means, but the poverty has risen very high in the past, I want to say 15, 20, 25 years, only because of economics. There's no jobs. There's no good paying jobs for those that are less educated. There's no jobs for those that have a minor brush with the law, criminal background. There's no jobs. There's not even a rehab that are helping our people get themselves back on track to get back into the mainstream and get a job in Flint. Used to be a time you can get back on track and you didn't have to leave Flint to get a job. There was a job here in Flint. You take time and just let your camera sit up on Robert T. Longway at 7 o'clock in the morning. You'll see all the cars coming in. At 5, 6 o'clock, you'll see them going out. And they head out of the city, living out county or even out of Genesee County. So we have good jobs, but they're given to those that are not in the city of Flint.
So, do you think that Flint can ever recover from this crisis?
I'm still here.
You're still here?
I'm still here. As long as I'm here, I believe we can recover.
How long do you think that'll take?
I don't know. However long, I'm going to stay here and try to help my community that I love dearly. I went to elementary school here, middle school here, and high school. I graduated from Flint Northwestern High School. I still believe in Flint. I still think Flint can come back. It won't be the Flint that it was when I was a kid. No, it won't be. But I still think Flint can come back and be a thriving community.
And what are some ways that you want to improve, how you can improve Flint?
Economics, employment. You give a person a means to live, they can survive much better. When you're scrapping to pay your bills and you're leaving one $12.50 job to go to another $12 job, it's just hard. It's hard on the family. Now parents are home from their children 10, 12, 14 hours a day. And now that child is raising itself because the parents are trying to scrap to make the best means for their children and their family that they can. So there's not a lot of teaching in our homes anymore because parents are out trying to maneuver these jobs. Some homes are one-parent homes. That makes it even more difficult. Some grandparents are now facilitating bringing up their grandchildren. That makes it difficult. So economics is the biggest piece for me. Once you get economic, then we need good housing for people to live in. But before we do any of that, we got to make sure people can drink fresh, clean water across this city. In every quadrant of this city, we need to make sure that there's fresh, clean water, and the water that's coming into their homes is fresh and clean. And then there's something that needs to be addressed in our community is the infrastructure of our homes. Yeah, we changed the lead service line, but what about the pipes on the inside of the house? No one's talked about that. Someone should be responsible for that because my pipes was good until they made the switch. If there hadn't been no switch, my pipes in my home would still be good. But unless I deal with the problem inside of my house, my family can still be drinking lead water.
People trust it?
No. It's hard, you know. I have conference calls all the time with my attorneys who fought for the water crisis that got the $97 million. Matter of fact, I got a call tomorrow morning, and we'll talk about what's going on in Flint and the response of Flint and what they're doing. It's hard to trust government when government failed you. Government failed this community, and government should work harder to develop a more positive relationship with this community. You got a community who paid for poison water. The government has not reimbursed them for that. How would you like to pay for poison water and have to pay for it, and then ain't no one, and they say, oh, it was bad. It was. Well, why don't you reimburse it? That's a little bit too far. That's a long stretch there. So there's things the government can do to get trust. To get trust. We live in Michigan, the Great Lakes. Water should not be a problem in this state. Every resident in this state should be able to get free water. Water has become gold. Because it's gold, it's a commodity that everybody needs, and now everyone wants to control it. Air, water in this state should be a no-brainer and a no problem for us to get water, fresh, clean water in this state of Michigan. It's the Great Lakes. If it's really the Great Lakes, then we ought to have more access to fresh, clean, healthy water.
So far, it's been almost 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
We're still dealing with this. What's your reaction to that? The fact that this hasn't been fixed. It's been so long. What's your reaction to 10 years and you're still in this fight?
I think it's sad. I think it's a sad scenario that Flint is 10 years in and they still have not completed the job when they had state and federal government backing them to give them all the money in the world. Now, you got to understand there has to be some type of investigation done because something doesn't add up. Something does not make sense that this work has not gotten done. There's no reason why this work hadn't gotten done. Well, they'll say COVID slowed us down. Yeah, we've been out of COVID 2.5 years now. We have excuse after excuse why it's not done. And let's hope this year they get it done and get it completed, totally completed. And then make some sense of where we go forward and how do we move forward to bring the community back together to a level of trust in our government that we pay for.
How would you explain people's feelings? Is it outrage? Is it distrust? Is it anger? Is it just it's always been this way? Is it passive now?
It's the whole gamut. Some folks are outraged. Some folks are hurt. Some folks don't understand. A lot of folks don't understand. I mean, you got to remember when we first tried to tell people don't drink the water, nobody believed us. When we tried to tell the government the water was poison, nobody believed us. So you got to understand that the community has failed to have a good, clear understanding of this entire process of clean water. It looks clean unless you're one of the residents who had brown water coming in. Then you knew that water wasn't, safe for you to drink. But you wanna educate as much as you can so that people will get more educated on this process and understand the process better so that we won't find ourselves in this situation again because it could easily happen again. Maybe not in Flint, but maybe somewhere else. It could easily happen again. This was a money grab situation that didn't have to happen. And I'm not gonna say it happened because Flint was an impoverished community. I say this all the time. So if you know the history of water coming into this county, Flint controlled that water. City of Flint sent water to all the out counties. They took that right from Flint, and now City of Flint buys water from the county. So it was a money grab. It was a manipulation of the system that caused these people to, one, lose their water rights. We sold water to everybody in the county. Now we're buying water from the county. Didn't make sense. Didn't make sense. It was a bad deal from the very beginning. It's a bad deal now. You want to make them whole again? Give them back their water rights. Give them back control of the water coming to the county. That's how you make them whole again. We can fix the pipes, but we don't recognize and reconcile how they lost economics in this process. So if you don't correct the economics that they're losing in the process, the poverty continues.
Do you think? You're right? RX Kids, right? And their movement tried to help families get out of poverty.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on what again? Tell me what again? Tell me that.
RX Kids.
How about this? I have a better question.
Better rephrase it.
is there anything they've done that's been positive, or anything you've seen come out of this? Any programs, any just new things?
I'm sure they have some program they put in place with Dr. Mona Hatisha. They're checking kids better. They're trying to educate kids better. The governor has done a marvelous job with the daycare program, getting kids an early start to get their minds working and developing much faster than it had been before, so that they don't lose that mental process of them growing and developing. So that's been great. But can they do more? Yes, they can do more. I feel they should. Because we're dealing with kids. No one's dealt with the trauma that is done to parents. How do you think a parent feels to know that they let their kids drink poison water? When you think grandma feels that she did all that she could, but those kids drank poison water. They were all A students, and now they're CD students. They dropped because of what the lead does to the brain. What about our seniors? We have not yet saw what happens to our seniors from drinking lead water. Oh, nothing happened. Yeah, maybe because you haven't tested them. We haven't found out. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know the full effects of what happened 10 years ago as of yet. Those children have not become 20, 25 years old to see how they're going to manage in this community and manage in this world that we live in. So we have yet to see the total effects of what this Flint water crisis done to not just Flint, but to the entire world, because there'll be people moving everywhere. 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 So it's sad, but we have to continue to have hope. Hope can transform into something special. People got to have something to hope for. That's why economics is important. If we can get economics rolling in this community, and jobs where people can go to work and feel good about their jobs, feel good about going to work in the morning and making an honest 40-hour a week living, people will start feeling better about themselves. Crime will come down. Things will get better. We got to get good jobs. We have to get good. We got buildings everywhere. We need jobs in this community. Good paying jobs.
Anything else you want to add?
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
I hope I was a help.
You were great. We're going to do one more thing. We're just going to get a cutaway shot.
Okay.
A setup shot. Can we maybe get the shot walking down the hall?
Okay.
Okay, cool. I'll just have you and Rex kind of walking together. All right, so Michaela,